eyes, relax, rest in the presence and hold space.
Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Omega Dantaya Vidmahi Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Om Vakratundaya Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Namaha Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Suklam Bharadram Vishnu Sasivarnam Chaturvujam Prasannavadaram Dhyaye Sarvavignyopashantaye Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Ganganapataye Namo Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignakara Dura Hamari Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignakara Dura Hamari Ganganapataye Namo Namaha 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 Om Ekadadaya Vidmahi Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Ganganapataye Namo
Namaste.
Namaste.
Welcome to our weekly online satsang. Satsang being a Sanskrit word that loosely means spiritual community. It directly means community of truth, wherever two or more people on the path of awakening, the flowering of the heart in oneness with the divine, come together to share their journeys, we have a satsang. And we strengthen one another. We all bring a certain amount of presence and grace, silence to this moment. When we join ourselves together like this, the silence is multiplied, the joy is multiplied, the presence is much exponentially more powerful. So, glad you're here. Be sure to give us a like or a love if you're on Facebook Live, either a heart or a thumbs up, so we can go in at the end and see that you dropped by. And I look every day from one Monday to the next to see who's watching it during the week. So I have some sense of how many people are viewing these satsangs after the actual live event because of their schedule or where they live in the world. We have people joining us from other continents from around the world. So a lot of different time constraints for people. And you're always welcome. And the grace is always here, because this is what we're sharing is spirit, spiritual consciousness, spiritual presence. And spirit is unbounded by time or space. There's no distance in spirit. It's always everywhere equally present. And it's always now. So you could be watching this recording a year or two after it was made, and you will still feel the same energy and the same presence that we are experiencing who are here live. We share throughout these webcasts the Flowering Heart Blessing, Hridaya, Vikasa, Diksha, if you want Sanskrit, but it's the Flowering Heart Blessing is a gift of grace from the divine source that catalyzes awakening, dissolves blocks to awakening, and causes the spiritual heart to begin to radiate and flower from the inside out. And what we discover when that happens is the divine has been dwelling in us all along. And when we make the connection, and that's what the Flowering Heart Blessing does, it opens the door to that connection and causes it to begin to flower and to shine. We discover that that is our true self. Our true essence is the divine presence itself. And it is enlightenment. It's enlightenment itself, divine consciousness, fully enlightened and fully divine. What we've been looking for, well, it's been in us all along. And it was you've been looking for. So, welcome home. Let's go deeper tonight. Before I forget the announcement part, the question came up last week. More asked, what about satsangs, etc., during the holidays? So, tonight we're obviously here doing what we're doing. Next Monday will actually be December 25th, Christmas Day. And we're taking off Christmas Day. We're not going to have a live stream satsang.
With all the kids over.
Yeah. And our granddaughter. And it just, yeah. Anyway, that's what we're doing. And hope that you'll find some one or ones to get together with and celebrate as well. Okay, then Wednesday, December 27th, we'll be here in-house, business as usual. Qigong, Taoist meditation, in-house satsang with mantra meditation and Flowering Heart blessings. So if you're going to be here in Clearwater, definitely come to Flowering Heart Center December 27th. Then Sunday, December 31st is New Year's Eve. And that is the time that is scheduled for us to have our monthly communion with the Cosmic Christ. We're going to do it because that will be Christmas Eve morning.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's, yes. Thank you. New Year's Eve morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time till 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And so before you dive into whatever festivities you have planned for New Year's Eve, you can join us for communion with the Cosmic Christ. And then the next day, Monday, will be January 1st, New Year's Day. We're going to have our live stream satsang as usual, New Year's Day evening. So the only thing that really changed was December 25th, because that's Christmas Day, and so many people have, and I know not everyone celebrates Christmas, but whatever you're celebrating, we're taking that day off. Okay, I think that was all I had to announce. Anything else?
Don't think so.
Okay, so is this, I guess we're not going to see people again before Christmas, are we? Because that's next Monday. So, Merry Christmas,
Happy holidays.
Hanukkah,
Well, happy holy days.
Kwanzaa, winter solstice, whatever you're celebrating. It seems like all the traditions have something going on around the time of the winter solstice, and it's just a good time to be together with family and friends. So whatever you choose to do and celebrate, may it be blessed and filled with joy. We like to open it at this point for questions about the spiritual journey, about the path to awakening, divine union, God realization, reincarnation, meditation, anything that's on your mind or heart that you'd like to get some more insight, some more clarity. When you ask your questions in satsang like this, it moves the divine to pour out grace through me and Suzanne, inspiration that helps all of us. And some of you get inspired too and share your insights, and that's wonderful. So, look inside and ask that still small voice or that raging, shouting voice inside of you or whatever it is there something you might ask in satsang that would serve as a catalyst for discussion and for all of us, but especially for you. The thing is, it may be very personal for you, but all of us are on parallel journeys. They go in different directions and take different turns. None of our journeys will be exactly the same, and yet we go through many of the same challenges and ups and downs along the way. So the answer to your question is going to help everybody. So ask away. And if you're at Vimeo watching there, you can also type in questions. And while I'm waiting for that to happen, I like to share quotes from a website, inspiringquotes.com. I'm on their newsletter list. If you get on their list, they are going to email you at least once a day, every day, forever, unless you unsubscribe. I love it because they're these authors that write these brief articles about meaningful things and then share quotes from famous, not all famous, but poets, mystics, philosophers, authors that are very moving. And I like to share one of those articles each week. This week, I'm going to be sharing 15 quotes to help you relax and slow down, which seems like something that many of us need to be reminded of during the holiday season, because things can get hectic. The author of this article is Joyce Chen. We've heard from her before. Thank you, Joyce. Joyce is a writer, editor, and community builder based in Seattle, Washington. And here's what Joyce has to say about relaxing and slowing down. Life is all about balance. Work hard, play hard, that sort of thing. But where can we fit relaxation into that busy go, go, go equation? The dictionary definition of relax is aspirational and healing. Quote, to make or become less tense or anxious, unquote. Sounds good to me. For some folks, relaxation takes the form of zoning out in front of a TV. For others, gardening or tending to the house offers calming effects. Whatever your chosen method of relaxation, whether it be time spent horizontal in a hammock or pressing pause on work to stroll through the neighborhood, rest should be a built-in part of everyone's daily routine. So when deadlines and to-dos start to feel overwhelming, take these 15 quotes about the importance of relaxation to heart. Remember, this life is beautiful but brief, and it's crucial to pause and de-stress every once in a while, so as to not miss the smaller moments that make all the work worthwhile. So here we go. Our first quote. There is more to life than increasing its speed. Mahatma Gandhi. Taking time to do nothing often brings everything into perspective. Do Zantamata, author. The time to relax is when you don't have time for it. Sidney J. Harris, journalist. It's not the daily increase, but the daily decrease. Hack away at the inessentials. Bruce Lee. Tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who you are. Chinese proverb. We're so busy watching out for what's just ahead of us that we don't take time to enjoy where we are. Bill Watterson, creator of Calvin and Hobbes. Calm mind brings inner strength and self-confidence. So that's very important for good health. The Dalai Lama. Every now and then, go away. Have a little relaxation. For when you come back to your work, your judgment will be surer. Leonardo da Vinci. Sometimes the most productive thing that you can do is to step outside and do nothing. Relax and enjoy nature. Melanie Charlene, author. It's a good idea always to do something relaxing prior to making an important decision in your life. Paulo Coelho, author. I promise you nothing is as chaotic as it seems. Nothing is worth diminishing your health. Nothing is worth poisoning yourself into stress, anxiety, and fear. Steve Maraboli, author. Turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream. John Lennon. Rule number 1 is don't sweat the small stuff. Rule number 2 is it's all small stuff. Robert Elliott, author. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Lao Tzu. Take rest. A field that has rested gives bountiful crop. Ovid, the Roman poet. Those were nice.
They were very nice.
Turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream. Surrender to the void. It is not dying. It is not dying. That was a great song. Lennon had some good stuff. Okay. Ekaterina writes, my Christmas play was fun and successful. Thanks for praying. You're welcome. It's a pleasure. It's a joy. Joanne writes, I'm considering relocating. I keep changing my mind. How do you discern whether you're motivated by fear or spirit?
Well, whenever we're coming from fear, that's because we're not connecting with the divine presence fully. It's just like, if you're coming from the mind or ego, it's chaos and confusion and fear and stress. And when you take time, like these quotes said, before making a big decision or before doing anything, just really make sure you're coming from your heart, which will mean that your decision will be clarity and peace and filled with love and not any confusion or fear. So just take time to relax, go out into nature or whatever you do to relax and meditate on it from that space instead of trying to go back and forth. Is this fear or is this good? Is it fear or,
I mean, if there's fear, it's definitely not spirit. You're
Right.
dancing with the mind. But you may have heard the answer, and then the mind kicks in and goes, yeah, but was that right or was this right? And then there's this back and forth. The brother of Jesus, James, wrote in his epistle that the wisdom that comes from above is pure, peaceful, easy to be entreated. It's very clear and pure and gentle, and it's easy. And he said, but where there is confusion and struggle, that is not the wisdom that comes from above. So just that one verse really makes it clear how we can discern, and Suzanne was touching on that exactly. So if you discover that you're in this chaotic back and forth, relax for a while. Read those relax quotes. Go out and walk in nature. The Tao Te Ching also says, Lao Tzu was quoted in there, that nature never hurries, and yet nothing is left undone. But he also said that the sage, the wise person, waits for the mud to settle. I mean, when the water's all churning and full of mud and you can't see, that's not the time to make an important decision, unless you must. And then you just put your case into the hands of the divine and you take a step in faith. But barring having to take action too quickly, Lao Tzu said, wait for the mud to settle before you take action, before you make a decision. Any other questions? That was easy. Where'd my little thing go? Oh well. The button.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
I think it's in our granddaughter's toy box.
Why does that not surprise me? With this button I can push, some of you had them years ago probably, and you push it and a voice says, that was easy.
From Staples.
From Staples, yeah. We'll give it another minute or so and see if there are any questions. That's what inspires these discussions to keep going. I did my part with those quotes, and the little things we share. What can you say about baby Jesus and his story? Wow, well that's a huge question. I mean, I could pull out the Bible and read you the whole old story. There's so much to say about his story. It's fascinating. I highly recommend reading the Gospels. But I think everybody pretty much knows the story that so long ago, 2,000 years ago, the angel Gabriel came to a virgin, Mary, who was engaged to a guy named Joseph, who was a carpenter. And the angel Gabriel said, you're going to bear a child. And this child, you're going to name him Jesus, which means basically Jah is our salvation, or Yahweh is our salvation, and that's a Hebrew name for the divine. Because he said he will save his people from their sins. And Mary said, how is this to be? I'm a virgin. I know no man. I mean, she was engaged, but they were still, had not come together physically. And Gabriel said, the child that you conceive will be conceived by the Holy Spirit, and so will be the Son of the Most High. And Joseph wasn't there for that little visit, And so when it became obvious that Mary was actually pregnant, he got really upset because they were engaged and because he'd had no relations with her, so how'd she get pregnant? So it says he was making plans to divorce her. In the ancient Hebrew culture of that time, to end an engagement meant a religious divorce because your spirits were so united already. And so then the angel came to him and said, no, Joseph, don't get the wrong idea. And he told him about Christ and what kind of a being this was. So there arose a decree from Caesar Augustus, the Roman emperor, that all the world should be taxed. So anyway, all of the Jewish people needed to go to their hometowns to register for the taxation. And Joseph was from Nazareth, and he was of the lineage of King David, actually. And so they were traveling with Mary, like fully pregnant, like just ready to give birth, but they didn't have a choice. This was one of those things where they couldn't wait for the dust to settle. And, well, they couldn't find any place to stay. All the motels were no vacancy. There was no room at the inn. But one of the people had compassion on Mary and Joseph and said, well, this may not be ideal, but you can stay with the animals, and there's a cave, and it's like and you could give birth there in the cave with the animals that are sheltering there. And so she gave birth to Jesus that night, wrapped him in cloth, and laid him in a manger. A manger is like this wooden trough that they put straw in that the animals eat out of. So he was born in lowly estate. And that night, this chorus of angels appeared to the shepherds that were in that countryside, keeping their sheep, and they proclaimed what had just happened, and that God was proclaiming peace on earth and goodwill toward humanity, which is good news for all of us. Wrapped up in all of this is often the story of the three, they say the three wise men, and there are all kinds of stories. Actually, Scripture doesn't say there were three wise men. It says there were wise men from the east that brought 3 gifts. There could have been 12 of them. There could have been 15 of them. And they brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Gold being a symbol of a king, frankincense being a symbol of a priest. The burning of the incense represents the offering up of prayer and the bringing down of blessing upon the people, and myrrh, which is a bitter herb, which is the symbol of the prophet. And so they came to him. They were probably Persian priests from the Zoroastrian tradition, a whole other religion, but they saw this star and followed it. And they presented him with these gifts, proclaiming. And anyway, it says they found Jesus with his mother in the house, not in a manger in a cave. He was probably 3 years old when the wise men came, because they had gone to visit King Herod first, and he was most interested to hear about this child, and said, when did you first see his star appear? And they said, it's been 3 years. So he sent soldiers out to kill all the young men in that region that were 3 years old and younger. So probably Jesus was 3, and then Gabriel again appeared to Joseph and said to take Mary and the child into Egypt because they were hunting him. So that's why he didn't get killed by Herod. And they stayed there till Jesus was like 12, before Gabriel said again to Joseph, now it's safe, you can go back to Israel, and the rest is history, as they say. So there's a little Christmas story for you. I won't sing. Is it true what is in The Chosen, the TV show? Well, yes. Of course, this is artistically interpreted as the epic movie Jesus of Nazareth by the great director Zeffirelli. I mean, that was a classic. But there have been so many others made about Jesus. My understanding from being a student of Scripture, of many traditions, but especially the Hebrew and Christian Scriptures, is that show, The Chosen, is very accurate so far.
It's really good too. If you guys haven't
Brilliantly
seen
done,
it,
yeah.
it's really, really good.
Highly recommended. The first episode is hard to get through. It focuses a lot on Mary Magdalene, who was at that point possessed by demons. It was just terrible, and it's hard to get through that first episode. And then at the end, and I guess I shouldn't say anything to give it away, Jesus sets her free and calls her, and just for those 2 minutes, it's worth the whole getting through the first, and then all the rest of it's just really, really well done, I think.
Yeah.
And there's going to be, what did we see? There were,
Is it 4? I don't know. It was a while ago.
I think it was 3 seasons, but they said at the end there's going to be another. So there's more that's going to come out. They have to tell the whole story. It only goes partway through his public ministry. It didn't get to the point where he gets in trouble and gets crucified and all that. So, highly recommended. Wow. Any other questions? Well then, close your eyes. Close your eyes, invoke the divine presence. The divine presence dwells within you in all of its fullness, and you exist within the presence. There is no separation between you and the divine. It is the ocean of being in which you exist, and that entire ocean exists within you. And it is pure, unconditional love. So let your heart begin to drink deeply of the oceans of love that are pouring out to you now. This divine presence in whom you live, who lives in you, who is pure love, is the most powerful thing in the universe. It is all-knowing and all-wise, and it yearns to set you free, to awaken you, to enlighten you to your true nature, which is one with all that is, and one with the divine. All suffering is rooted in our sense of separateness and distance. Let it be healed. Just receive. You don't need to do anything right now, but just receive, allow. Breathe it in, drink it in, soak it up. Oceans of grace are pouring out in you and to you now. This presence will heal your spirit with light, your soul with inspiration, right thinking, right feeling, liberate you from all the programming and the traumatic emotional charges and fill your soul with wisdom and your body with life and healing, and your relationships with reconciliation, peace, love. Receive. It is even a greater blessing to give the flowering heart blessing, to be an instrument of grace. So visualize us with your eyes closed, sitting in a circle together, and lift up your hands with your palms open, facing forward, and let us invite the divine to pour the flowering heart blessing through all of us to each other. As it flows through you to all the others in the circle, it's flowing through them back to you. Now visualize the earth in the middle of our circle. Beautiful, translucent blue globe, full of life, itself alive. Let us invite the divine to pour awakening, healing grace through us to the planet. Dissolving all the density and the darkness, the fear, the anger, the hatred, the harm, flooding the earth with the light of new life, of the new earth. See the light of divine love pouring out in the Middle East, in Gaza, Israel, all the regions round about, in Ukraine, and Russia, and all the regions round about that place. Let the earth earth be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Let all fear and hatred be melted away, and divine unconditional love come alive in the hearts of the people. Hebrew scripture says God makes war cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and snaps the spear. So be it. May all of humanity lay down our weapons, lay down our damaging ways, and walk in light together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now you can relax your hands, put them somewhere in your lap, and open your eyes, and begin to make direct eye contact with Suzanne and or me. Just keep gazing at least one of our eyes constantly. And we begin the light meditation. Suzanne and I in this meditation are flooded with oceans of grace and light and love. It pours through us to you, especially through our eyes. Mystics have called them the doorways of the soul. As you keep looking, the light streams out through our eyes, in through your eyes, into your heart of hearts, causing the light of awakening, fires of divine love, divine union to burn brighter and brighter and brighter. Just keep looking. meditating as long as you like, or find a place nearby to lie down in Shavasana. Shavasana is a yoga pose where you simply lie in a comfortable place on your back, with your eyes closed, your arms loosely at your sides, with the palms open, turned upward, and just dissolve in the presence in gratitude. We love you very much.
Much love, light, and blessings.
Until we meet again, know that the divine in us beholds the divine in you, and we bow to you.
Namaste.
Namaste.